Welcome back, everybody. It is Memorial Day, and here's to those many, many Americans who've made the ultimate sacrifice from daylight at Lexington to right now. Because of them and those willing to do the same, we don't have to hide when we pray to our God. We don't have to hide when we stand up and say what we believe. Oh, they might try to make you want to hide, but you don't have to let them. And for that, we don't forget the price of freedom today. Let's get to some news. We have saliva tests, stamp prices, and weather. My name's Ike Morgan, and we're down in Alabama. The spit test now has a higher legal standing in Alabama. I'm not talking about the deal-sealing spit handshake this time. I'm talking about the oral fluid drug test. Alabama Governor Kay Ivey signed a bill that gives oral fluid drug tests the same implied consent legal standing as the good old alcohol breathalyzer test, reports AL.com's Mike Kasich. The idea here is to keep drug-impaired drivers off Alabama roadways, and that appears to be a bipartisan endeavor, given that there were no dissenting votes in the House or the Senate when the bill passed. The oral fluid tests have been given roadside in the state for about 3 years now. Previously, it was given only with the driver's consent or a judge's order. Under the new law, if you're driving a vehicle at all, then you have consented to take the test. If you refuse to take the test, you can have your license suspended for 90 days, and that's before any DUI-related penalties. Hey, here's a way we can all date each other. I mean, age-wise. What is the lowest stamp price you can remember? I'm sure plenty of our listeners can remember back to single digits, and most millennials probably recall prices in the 30 to 39 cent range. Mine was 18 cents. I remember well because the local newspaper's letters to the editor section was named 18-cent Forum, which meant the paper had to rename its letters to the editor section every time the price of a stamp rose. That worked out for me because by reading the letters to the editor, I also kept up with the price of stamps and learned about inflation at an early age. Now, the Associated Press is reporting that the United States Postal Service wants to raise the cost of a first-class stamp from 55 to 58 cents. The Postal Service is trying to pay down its debt. As you and I are well aware, that involves bringing in more money and spending less money. So in addition to higher prices for first-class mail, magazines, and marketing mailers, the Postmaster General's 10-year master plan includes hundreds of layoffs of what it says would be management-level employees. The requested changes were filed with the Postal Regulatory Commission and would take effect August 29th. It's Monday in Alabama, and we like to look ahead to the week in Alabama weather on Mondays. We have weather reporter Lee Morgan with us to talk about what might be coming up. What do you say, Lee?
Hey, well, it looks like it's going to be a quiet week, weather-wise. The cool weather we had this weekend is
Yeah, no, I'm sorry to interrupt. I went to play golf this weekend,
surprise.
It was cold all of a sudden.
Well, if you can't hack it, take your jacket.
No,
Right?
yeah.
It's going to be cool this morning, too, for those getting out early. We'll have some more cool temperatures, but it's going to warm up today, be a little warmer than yesterday. And temperatures are going to rise a little bit through at least midweek. And then we'll be watching for the next chance of rain to come up Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Now, forecast models are kind of having differing opinions about when it's going to rain and how much. So we'll just have to play that by ear at this point. But just be looking for rain chances to increase probably Thursday, Friday sometime. No severe weather right now looks like on the table. So we're past that season, thank goodness. We still could have severe storms.
Right. It's just not nearly as likely.
Exactly. The other thing to note is Tuesday is June the 1st and the official start of the Atlantic hurricane season. Now, we've already had one named storm, Anna, which was short-lived weeks and formed around May 22nd near Bermuda. And that Anna makes it 7 straight years we've had an early season storm. NOAA recently released its outlook for the season and is predicting another above-average summer in the Atlantic.
Joy.
Yes. An average season has 14 named storms, that's tropical storms and hurricanes. 7 hurricanes, 3 major hurricanes, which is a Cat 3 or stronger.
Right. You don't want those.
We don't want those. We've had enough of those. Now, those you might notice those averages are a little higher than what you might be used to.
If you really pay attention, you'll notice that.
As you should. But NOAA is using new data sets this year. So where they were basing their averages on the years 1981 through 2010, now they're bumping it up and using the years from 1991 to 2020 for their averages. So the other thing to note is that, June is this week, and June has the longest days of the year. The days will keep getting longer until the summer solstice. This year is Sunday, June the 20th. So enjoy those longer days while they last. And, I know that you don't like to talk about the solstice because it makes you depressed.
No,
so we'll just stop there.
June's the greatest month of the year.
Right.
Because we have the longest days. Mm-hmm. Most of the fish are biting. And it's not quite as hot as it's going to get, in July and August.
Yeah, we won't think about that right now, though. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's fine.
So everything looks good this week. Oh, and along on the beach, there is for a change, a low risk of rip currents, at least through midweek. So that's something to look forward to. It'll be great beach weather this week.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Lee.
No problem.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. We'll be back here again tomorrow. Until then, stop by and see us anytime you can on the World Wide Web at al.com.